Whenever you make an outbound call using PhoneBurner, we have to display a caller ID. That could be a caller ID that you brought into the system on your own, or it can be a phone number that you've purchased through PhoneBurner. And if you're purchasing phone numbers through PhoneBurner, you have the ability to group those phone numbers into what we call pools, allowing you to use a group of caller IDs for a specific outbound dial session. But how does PhoneBurner decide which phone number from the pool to display to your contact when you're making calls? There are two main ways that PhoneBurner makes that decision. One is random. As you're making calls, PhoneBurner will just pick one of the phone numbers from the pool to display to your contacts. As you can see here as I'm making these calls. I'm clicking here, dispositioning them, as I make the call, it's just grabbing one of the phone numbers from the pool. And that's the most common option for a PhoneBurner customer. You just set your number pools up to choose a number randomly from the pool. However, another option is what we call local presence, where the system will choose one of the phone numbers from the pool that is closest to your contact. And as you can see here, I'm now calling a contact in Florida, and we're displaying one of the Florida phone numbers. If I move on to my next call, I'm calling somebody in Texas, and the system is going to switch to a Texas phone number. Now, it's important to note that if you want to take advantage of the local presence feature, you do have to make an additional request to get that feature activated on your account. It's not active by default. And if this is a feature that you would like to activate on your account, let me show you how you can do that. Let's close this dial session window. We're going to go to settings, so I'm going to click on my initials in the upper right-hand portion of the page and go down to numbers under settings. From here on the left-hand side, I'm going to click on local presence. Here I'll have the option to click the request button. When I click on the request button, it's going to take me to a form that I can complete in order to activate this specific feature on my account. Now make sure you take your time to review this to ensure that you're comfortable activating this feature on your account. It's a really simple form to complete, but we will not activate local presence on your account if you've not completed this form. Once you've completed this form and this feature is active on your account, you'll now be able to choose which number pools take advantage of local presence and which number pools do not. And the last thing I want to leave you with regarding the outbound caller ID is consistency. You want to be building trust with your contacts. So one thing that we're going to be doing for you as you're making calls is we're going to log the last caller ID that was displayed to that contact. So the next time you call that contact, if that number is available for you to use when making outbound calls, specifically if it's part of that number pool, we will use that same caller ID again. And of course, if that specific phone number is not available in the pool that you're using for that specific dial session, we'll have to choose another number, either random or local, depending on the settings for that pool. Anyway, that's a quick little overview of how PhoneBurner decides which phone number to display to your contacts when you're making calls using a pool of phone numbers through PhoneBurner. Thanks for taking a moment to watch this video, and happy dialing.